So what would I do if I started over as a real estate agent? I'm Matt Giggs. Let's get started. Gonna take you back now, 28, 29 years. When I first started an estate agency, it was 1996. And believe it or not, there was no Rightmove. There was no Rightmove. There was very, very little activity on the internet. And I'm doing that because that's my representation of the internet. We had a phone, but if I showed you what my phone looked like back in 1996, you would laugh. It could barely text message. I mean, I may as well have had what's called a pager back then. I don't know if anyone who's watching this remembers a pager. But what's really interesting is I look at how people start today, and I look at how I started back in 1996. And what would I do today that I did back then versus what would I do back then that I could take from today? So, the first thing I would say is know your why. So I would really want to make sure that I'm really clear and focused on my why, because when I started in 1996, I started in a corporate estate agency, and it was very much drummed into us about goals, targets, numbers. Do not get me wrong, you need to know your numbers. They're the language of any business, and they're the language of any sales performance industry. But the most important thing, that when I captured it and when I thought about it and when I understood it, it was in my first meeting, the first time I entered the estate agency that I went to work in. Before I got the job, this was when I had no driving license. I walked into the office and I asked for an application form, got the bit out of the newspaper, and I said to the guy, I'd like to apply for the estate agency trainee position. And he said to me, why? And I said, I love helping people. That was not a pre-planned answer. That was natural. So just remember that estate agency done brilliantly well, executed at the highest level, is by people that genuinely love helping people. That is the bit to remind yourself. So if I started again today, I would start with that in mind. That's my main focus. Yes, I need to know what I want to achieve and how I need to get there, break down all the numbers and so on and so forth. But the helping people, it absolutely extracts from there all of the things that you actually need to do. Now, whether you use the platforms that are out there like social medias to get your messaging out, emails, direct mail, all of those things are leveraging what you should be doing to help people. So the bit that I would do today, and the bit that I would really focus on, is my knowledge. If I was to start from scratch, I'd want to go and talk to a mortgage broker. I'd want to understand what mortgages are all about, why people get them, how people get them, and I'd want a crash course in understanding that, purely from my knowledge. I'd also want to go and talk to the conveyancer. If I'm referring to a conveyancer and I'm going to build a relationship with a local solicitor or a conveyancer, I want to understand the process. I want to understand why I should recommend those people, but also what do they actually do for my clients. They're two very simple things that you can get to do and get to grips with straight away. In fact, you can Google those things and you'll get information. The third thing is, in order to help people, I need to help my buyers and sellers understand the difference between what they want and what they need. Now, if someone taught me this really clearly back then, I would not have wasted thousands of hours. Now, to get to mastery in any field, you need around 10,000 hours of learning, doing, application. Now, I'm telling you now, I've probably spent 10,000 hours of doing it wrong, right? So I'm sharing with you right now the difference between being a great agent and the rest. So there's 1% and 99%, is the 1% focus on needs. They help buyers, they help sellers to come into a place of understanding what they need, what they can't compromise on. And for me, that's what great agents do really well. So when they answer the phone's ringing, they pick it up, someone comes through the door, and they immediately sit people down, or they answer the phone and say, yeah, let me understand what you're looking for. What do you want? You're almost getting off to the wrong start. It's like walking into a shop. You go into a clothes store and you walk in and you get there, you make eye contact with someone, and before you could avoid them, they come over and they say to you, how can I help? Do you need any help? There's two different questions. How can I help is a great question. It's an open question. Do you need any help? No, thank you. I'm just browsing. So the difference is in the skills around the questions that you ask. So what do you need from your next house versus what do you want is a great place to start. If I took myself back 28, 29 years ago to actually understanding that that simple question could change the motivation of the client, what your timeframes are, when do you need to move by, and all of those different things, that comes outside the top of the pyramid of what do they actually need. So for me, that's the place to start. If I was to go back into real estate agency today and start today, I'd need to know my numbers for sure. What do I want to earn? How am I going to get there? What's my why? Why do I want to help people? What does it give me in terms of satisfaction? What do I need to learn? I need to learn the right questions. I need to continually invest in understand what the difference is between wants and needs. And people that want to move might move. The people that need to move will move. I need to spend my time with them. So if I'm going to take you through the process of going through Estate Agency 101 today, it's about understanding needs and actually spending your time asking questions to help people to discover what those things are, because most people don't know what they don't know. Your job is to help them to figure that shit out. And if you're not doing that, you're just helping them to delay the process and waste your time and their time. Waste the client's time, the ones that have tidied their house for today just to show someone round that doesn't actually know what they want. What a waste of everyone's time that is. Great estate agents don't do that. They'll do less appointments, higher quality. That's what I would advise you do today. You need to understand that estate agency is a learning sport. It's a contact sport. It's a people sport. We used to say eyes to eyes, nose to nose, toes to toes. You're always in front of people. You're always in a conversation. And the agents that understand that conversations convert will get to the sale quicker. Imagine that. Imagine trying to understand someone's needs over email or text message or WhatsApp, right? How long would that take? And actually, if I could speak to Ed, who's filming me today. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Matt.
There you go. If Ed's looking for a property, the first question I'm going to say is, Ed, there's a difference between what you want and what you need. And I'm going to help you to determine what that is. And he'll go, oh, okay, that's different. No one's asked me that before. No, because people focus on wants because it's a lot easier. Finding out what people needs is a lot harder. It takes a bit of skill, courage, and explanation. But the difference between understanding your needs, Ed, is when I ring you up about a property, I know it's going to meet your needs. So you're going to come out and you're going to look at it before it's gone to the market. You're not going to wait for details. Send me it through, please. What, when everybody else has said no? You know, I want to make sure that I work with you as a professional to deliver exactly what you need moving forward. So being a real estate agent, a new estate agent, is something that you can conquer in less than 4 weeks. If you do what I've just described. Yes, you've got to build a personal brand. Yes, you've got to go out there on social media. You might even have to deliver leaflets, right? I don't care. Do the things that I've just mentioned to you really well. Ask the right questions, get the right answers, have the right solutions. If you follow that order, you're going to be so successful as a real estate agent going forward. You're going to be able to view and sell houses and value and list houses and then agree sales and exchange houses. There you go. That's what I would do 29 years later if I was to go and be a new estate agent in the field today. And the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because I've seen how it's done. Like I've said in the video, hopefully you've enjoyed it, but I've probably spent 10,000 hours doing it wrong and 10,000 hours doing it right. What I'm sharing you is to not make the same mistakes. Go out there, do what I've said, implement it. Let me know how you get on. We've got a comment section here. What do you think of this video? Like, share, ring the notifications bell, become part of my community, and I'll train you for free just like this moving forward. Believe me, I've done over £1 billion worth of house sales. I've built a group of estate agents. I've led teams to #1 in their markets. I've helped people to build their careers without the sleaze in this brilliant industry that we're in. But as for now, go forward, enjoy yourself, implement, take action, and I'll see you in the next video.